Okay, we're there.
Hi, Cheryl.
Hello. Hey, Kelly. All right, well, we are going to get started, and I'm sure people are going to be jumping in as we go. But welcome, everyone, to our Facebook Live for question and answer with Sojourn House. We're excited to be with everybody, first of all, tonight. We're looking forward to sharing our heart with you, a little bit about our mission for Sojourn House and who we are, why Sojourn House exists. And just looking forward to your questions and answering those for you tonight. The three of us that you can see on your screen here make up part of our board. Myself, my name is Morgan Lane, and you can see Amy Meek in the bottom there, and Carissa Muncie. Chris is going to be interpreting in ASL for our friends that are hard of hearing and deaf. And then we have two other board members who aren't with us tonight, but they are Kelly Blazier and Rebecca, soon to be Taylor, as she gets married on Sunday. We're excited for her. So some of you have probably seen a lot of our Facebook posts lately begging you for shoes or telling you that we need toilets and showers, and you maybe are wondering what in the world are they talking about? And we're going to try to answer some of those questions for you tonight. Some of you know a little bit about Sojourn House, so you know why we need shoes and toilets. But our goal tonight is maybe to answer some of those other questions that you may have that you don't understand about Sojourn House yet. We want to bring awareness to what Sojourn House is and why we're here, and to help others know not only more about us, but how you can be part of our mission at Sojourn House. And Amy's going to get us started with explaining a little bit more about who we are.
Yes, so welcome everybody. I'd love to kind of talk about how Sojourn House began. Literally 3 soccer moms that you see on the screen right here. I feel like God wove our stories together and brought us together. Each of us were kind of in our own ways advocating for women, working with women, had a heart and passion for helping women in different situations. And as we learned more about each other, and we learned that a lot of our passions were the same, Sojourn House began literally on the soccer field last fall. We signed our official paperwork and elected our board of directors right there on one of the benches. Sojourn House is a transitional housing program for moms, women, who are in crisis. So we had this big, broad term of women in crisis. And as we kind of went through that, we've narrowed that down quite a bit. So now Sojourn House will be for women who are substance use disorder, domestic violence, and specific women who are in trafficking. So we're really excited to get going with that. As we progressed and started in our meetings, we have also seen God wove our stories into 2 other of our board members, Rebecca and Kelly, who are here with us tonight. But these 5 women meet every Monday night to plan and prepare for Sojourn House. And we're excited to hopefully get our doors open this year and start helping women in crisis.
So once we got going with our being officially incorporated, we got together and decided what we had to do next. We began with a lot of presentations that we did at different organizations or churches. We have done some fundraisers through different restaurants with the Dine and Donates. We've also had our shoe drive going on for a while, and we have currently our Sojourn House board battle going on that you've probably seen us posting about, and just a lot of different things that we've had in the works. We had a work day, and we had, I'm trying to pull up a picture here for you. We had a great group, probably about 60 people that showed up for our work day. A lot of them were from Steinsville Church the Nazarene and Zion Community Church the Nazarene. And we just so appreciate everyone's support, how the community has come behind us and supported us. and how we just pulled together. That day particular, we had all kinds of carpet being pulled up and furniture being removed that wasn't necessary for what we need, what we're trying to do, and cleaning up walls and all kinds of things that were taken apart and just cleaned up that day for us. And we are just so appreciative of all the help that we've had so far. We've also had 2 interns this past semester that have worked with us, Megan Voss and Natalie Watercutter, and they were a huge help with getting our policies in writing for us as they helped us put all of that down on paper and get all that formatted and for us. They've helped us in planning a gala that we've had to postpone currently, but we are looking forward to the time that we can get that rescheduled and that we can be able to share more about that with you as we get that planned. We'll let you know more about that. But we are just so appreciative of all the ways that people that have come together to support Sojourn House, and we just look forward to what is ahead. You'll be seeing more about us as we have different projects going on or different things that we need. We'll be posting those so you can be aware and help where you feel led to help. And we've had a few questions that have come in before we started tonight. We had some that were submitted. And if you guys have any questions, feel free to put those in the comments. And we're going to get to those as we can tonight. So please feel free to put anything out there that you want to. To get started, we had a couple of questions come in. Let me see, pull them up here. The first one that we're going to address tonight is who can participate in the Sojourn House program?
So I can answer that a little bit, maybe. For the Sojourn House program, it is for women in crisis, is that broad term, but specifically targeting women who are exiting trafficking. That could look a lot of different ways in our community. It's kind of a misperception that maybe it doesn't exist in our community, but we know that trafficking exists in lots of different forms. So it can exist in that very traditional sense of a trafficker trafficking a woman for money. Also look as a loved one or a family member trafficking someone for rent money, for substance use disorder, habit, things like that. You could also be a woman just trafficking herself for survival. So those are all scenarios that we may encounter, and not that we may encounter even, but that we have encountered in our community. And we're excited to be able to help a woman escape that and kind of see her own God-given purpose and be able to restore her family and stay in her living. The other group that we can help at Sojourn House is a woman who maybe has lost her children in the foster system. We know that can be a very situation. So when someone has lost their children and maybe they have a partner or someone who's been abusive and they feel trapped themselves, coming to Sojourn House would give them an opportunity to work through the life skills, the parenting skills, jobs and sustainability that they need to get their children back and parent their children on their own.
Okay, great. The next question we have is how many women are we going to be able to house?
So we're excited to get busy on renovations here really soon. So as soon as those renovations are done, staff is hired, we will start taking women in kind of cohorts. So kind of ramping up is sort of to say. So 4 to 5 women at a time. And we can increase that over time to 20, 25 women in the facility. But at first, we'll only take 5 and then 10 and then 15, kind of get our feet under us and make sure we have everything in place to be able to help all the women that we encounter.
All right, and then another question we have is what kind of services are offered to the women besides housing? So yes, we are not just going to be a housing facility. We will provide a 5-step program. And because of some of the trauma that these women have walked through, our very first stage is going to be a stage of healing. There's going to be a lot that they are going to be needing to work through and process. So we will start with a healing time where they can just kind of begin to feel safe again, begin to know they are loved, they are cared for, and that Sojourn House is here to support them and walk them through this time where they can get back to a sustainable life on their own again one day. Our next step will be education. Once they've walked through that healing process and they're ready to get their feet under them with their education, whatever path they want to pursue, whether it's pursuing their GED, getting a college degree, depending on where they already are with their education. If they want to pursue a skill that they an entrepreneurship type skill or anything like that, we will be there to help them for that. We're going to be partnering with different organizations to provide classes on site, where even the community can maybe even take part in some classes that are offered as well. We'll have people coming in and helping with life skill classes, basics that they may not know how to do yet, that we can help offer them, from finances to cooking to all kinds of different things that we can provide. That we will have a case manager on site that will be working with each woman and kind of help them map out their plan for what their goals are, what their dreams are, and help them pursue those. So then once they have all that figured out, we can begin an employment phase, which is where they will still be living at Sojourn House, but they will begin to work outside and have, part-time job where they can pursue those desires and those passions that they have, those skills, put that education to practice. And as they continue on that path, our sustainability phase will help them just learn that it's okay to mess up. They're going to have times where they make a mistake or they get fired from a job, and they may have a fear of, what do I do now? Well, Sojourn House is still here for them to fall back, and we're here for their safety. We're here to help them know it's okay. We can get back up and we can pursue that next step, and we'll help them get back on their feet again. We'll help them as they learn to, they have car trouble and they need to know who to call and what to do. We're there to help them with that. And then once they've kind of walked through all these different stages, knowing that, again, they're cared for and they're loved, and that they have a foundation behind them of a group of people that care for them and are here for them, then we'll pursue graduation, which is where we'll be helping them find housing outside of Sojourn House once they've graduated, and they will begin a life outside of Sojourn House, but still with connections to Sojourn House. For 6 months, we will still work with them. Our case manager will still go visit them, make sure they're staying on their path, make sure their goals are still being pursued, and that they're still financially, making the right decisions and things like that as they move on to life outside of Sojourn House. And that's an exciting stage for us to think about, a woman who has successfully walked through our program and is now able to live life again, a free life, a life that she knows she has value and worth, and a life that she can now begin to pursue her dreams, not have a life forced on her, but a life that she wants and a life that she pursues willingly. And we're excited for that day. It'll be a bittersweet day, as we will have built relationships with these women and we'll be sad to see them go, but it will be such an exciting time for her to know that she has everything she needs to pursue that life outside of Sojourn House. And that is our ultimate goal, is to help them to pursue that as well.
We also have some long-term goals for the Sojourn House itself as far as social enterprise opportunities. So everything that we can turn into a opportunity to learn a job skill, we want to do that along the way. So that may be things such as opening a small bakery or a cafe, or learning skills like how to cater or how to groom a dog, things like that. We know that some of the women who will come to Sojourn House may have felonies or things that may have hindered them from getting jobs. So we want to give them some skills and some opportunities to be able to, when they leave, even start their own businesses if that's what they want to do.
So we have a few more questions coming in. It looks like Pam, which is my mom. Hi, Mom. She's asking, how many women can we house? Mom, we did already address that. I think your screen froze for a minute or two, but We can house at a time, we're going to start with up to 5 women. And then as we get our feet underneath us, we can work up to maybe 20, 25 women eventually. But we're going to start with probably 5 at a time, 4 to 5, and then add 4 to 5 more later and kind of go from there. Rachel Roll is asking, what are your greatest needs at this time?
Well, since we're just starting, we have a lot of needs. Turns out that trying to start a nonprofit and fundraise in the middle of a global pandemic is difficult. So who knew? So right now, fundraising is one of our biggest needs. We really were hoping that we would be having a gala in May, and we had to postpone that almost as soon as we got it all solidified. So we're hoping now to have that gala in the fall. Get our official 501c3, so that has opened up some opportunity for some grant funding we're hoping to be able to secure. But in the meantime, all those things that Morgan kind of mentioned earlier, the board battles where we're trying to raise funds for just some of the renovations, shoes that we're collecting as a fundraiser, all those little things are really our greatest need right at the moment.
And Rachel also asked, how can those who want to get involved in supporting this ministry do so?
So on our website, sojournhousewomen.org, there is an opportunity on there to go on and say that you want to be a volunteer. We do have a volunteer application. On there, depending on what areas you want to volunteer for, we may have some opportunities now, but we definitely will have opportunities down the road in lots of areas. So filling that out, kind of giving us an idea of your strengths, what you're able to help us out with, will help us down the road to know when we can call on you for help. Our website also has a place where you can go to donate, even be a recurring donor. As I said, right now, that's one of our biggest needs.
For those of you that are just now joining, we have answered some questions, but feel free to throw some more at us. We're going to try to do our best to answer anything that you guys want to know about Sojourn House, who we are, what we're doing, why we are here. So if you have any more questions that you don't see above you in the comments, please feel free to jot those down in the comment section.
So, Morgan, one thing that I get asked a lot is, what is the name Sojourn? Where did that come from? What does it mean? And Carissa actually came up with the name for our facility, and we thought it was really unique. Then we found out there were others around after we used the name. So a sojourn means a temporary journey or temporary place. So a sojourner is on a temporary journey, and we kind of use that scripture in Psalms 146. It says, "The Lord watches over the sojourner; He upholds the widow and the orphan, but the ways of the wicked He will bring to ruin." So kind of use that as our founding scripture and the name for our program. We added Sojourn House Women on our website because if you just Google Sojourn House, there are 5 or 6 others throughout the United States. So we're not connected to any of the others. We are our own entity. So our name is not as unique as we thought it was when we came up with it.
Another question that we've had is there anything like Sojourn House in our area? For those of you who are not local, we are in the Bloomington, Indiana area. And so in this area particularly, there's nothing specific to trafficking as far as being a transitional housing facility for women that have been trafficked. And so it is a need here. We have already heard stories of women in our area who fit the criteria for being at Sojourn House. And so we definitely have the need here, and it is not something that is already a service being provided specifically to women who have been trafficked. And so that is why we are wanting to get our doors open as soon as we can so we can make sure that these women have a place to go to be safe and to work through this program. Laura Shipley has asked, what staff will be needed?
So we'll be hiring an executive director, We'll be hiring a case manager. We will have an educator, and we're hoping to have at least a part-time chaplain on staff. Outside of that, there'll be some other staff that are there overnight, just for security purposes, and to just build relationships with the women as well. We'll also have a pretty robust volunteer staff. So they'll be helping with those life skills, with crafts, with even just exercise classes, all sorts of things. We hope to have activities going every single day, keep the women really engaged and really busy, and give them that opportunity to build relationships with other people.
We also have a question from Mary Webster. Do you have a particular date in mind that you're hoping to be open to the first group of women?
So Mary's my mom, so hi, Mom. So again, with COVID crisis right now, is kind of put things, set us back just a little bit on our dates. Knowing that there are women waiting for us and needing our help, we want to open as soon as we can. But right now, realistically, we're planning to get our renovations going hopefully this summer, hopefully securing some grant funding by fall, and being able to hire staff and open by January. If we had everything in place, we'd open tomorrow if we could, though.
So a few things we have going on right now, just for those of you that are looking for maybe ways to get involved. Again, if you are near the Bloomington, Indiana area, sorry, or even Columbus, Indiana, because we do have a board member in Columbus, we need shoes for a shoe drive that we are doing. So if you have any shoes that you just need to get rid of, they're just filling up your closet space and you never wear them, we are currently collecting shoes, and we will be until June 9th. So please, please, please let us have your shoes. We had some drop-off locations, but unfortunately those are closed due to the coronavirus right now. But the board members are willing to come pick them up off your porch, or something like that. So if you know that you have shoes you want to get rid of, please let us know. You can, if you know one of us personally, just let us know. But if not, our email address is team@sojournhousewomen.org. And you can email us or just send us a Facebook message, and we are willing to coordinate that. Again, we have a board member in Columbus, and I know she'd be willing to pick them up as well. So just let us know if you have anything like that. We do currently have some earrings that were made specifically for Sojourn House. And I know that many of you guys have probably seen those on our Facebook page. That they are for sale right now for $30, and all the proceeds go right back to Sojourn House renovation costs and things that we need to be able to get our doors open. So again, those earrings were made specifically for Sojourn House. A friend of a board member wanted to do something to help us, so she designed these and created these just for Sojourn House. And some of them are even look like little houses. They're super cute. So be sure to check those out. Let us know. Mother's Day is coming up. So if your mom loves earrings, feel free to get her a few pairs, get yourself some, and that will all go directly back to Sojourn House. Another thing we have going on right now is our Sojourn House board battle. And I know there's 3 of us on here, so it's a little unfair, but feel free to donate to Sojourn House. And then if you want to put in the comments team, and then whatever the name of the board member is. So Team Morgan, Team Amy, Team Carissa, Team Kelly, or Team Rebecca. And we will make sure that they get the credit for Sojourn House. They don't get the money. Sojourn House gets the money, but we get credit for it. And we have some silly, fun challenges right now that are going on for the losers. So be sure to check out our Facebook page videos. We had our first loser video posted last night, and unfortunately I was on that one, but hopefully not in the next few weeks. But yeah, just feel free to support us that way. It's just kind of a fun competition, but it all helps Sojourn House And then we will eventually be having our gala. Like Amy said, we're hoping to have that in the fall. We're really looking forward to that, just a time not only to bring awareness to Sojourn House and the issue of trafficking in our area, but also just to get other networking and organizations on board with Sojourn House's mission. So we're looking forward to those things as well. We also have a question here from Carrie Simpson. She wants to know, will women be able to bring their children with them?
So that's a good question, Carrie. At first, no, we won't be set up for that. Part of it, we will have these big rooms that will be beautiful, but they'll be dorm style. So there will be 4 to 5 women living in a room. And when I say dorm style, I think of, I have a kiddo getting ready to go to college, and all those dorms look cramped and crowded and not so great. But so I don't like using that word necessarily, because these are going to be like their home. It's going to be beautiful. But because they'll be sharing it with other women, we won't be set up for that, at least not at first. However, women who are trying to reunify with their children, this is a perfect place for them to come. They will be able to meet with their children at Sojourn House, have supervised visitation there, and work on that plan to move out of Sojourn House and into their own home so they can be with their children.
So Rachel Roll has asked a few more questions. She has, did the Sojourn House board members all know each other prior to starting this ministry? So Amy, if you don't mind, I'll jump in on this one for a minute. So it's really an exciting story, the way this has all kind of come together. I knew Kelly before I knew anybody else. Kelly and I attended church together, and Kelly actually really kind of helped me get to know more about the issue of trafficking. I was already aware of a lot of it and already trying to advocate where I could, but she introduced me to some organizations and ways that things that I had not been aware of before. And then I moved to Bloomington and started going to a different church here where my husband's the pastor, and my husband and Carissa's husband are very good friends. And I knew Carissa and Ben from different church activities already. And so got to know them a little bit better. Amy leads a soccer program here in the area that my son started being a part of. And so got to know Amy a little bit better because of that. And I was pursuing my own ways of trying to help women who were being trafficked, and didn't even know that Amy and Carissa had a similar mission and vision in their heart until my husband had coffee one day with Ben, and they were talking about Amy and Carissa's vision for opening a place for women. And so my husband said, Morgan wants to be involved. I don't even have to ask her. She's going to want to be involved in this. And so we all kind of got tied together. At first, Amy, Carissa, and I, and then down the road, as we needed another board member, I said, well, I know this girl named Kelly, and I know she's going to want to be involved as well. So we got Kelly involved. And then Rebecca joined our team. I don't think, did anybody know Rebecca beforehand? I think Rebecca was another interesting, she actually came to my church one morning to see a friend get baptized. And that's how she heard about Sojourn House, because there was an announcement that day about our upcoming work day. And so she heard about Sojourn House because of going to see a friend get baptized. And so she emailed us, and we set up an interview for being on the board with her. And we loved her and her heart, and we knew she was a perfect fit for our team. And so we all work, together. It's just amazing how God's brought us all together with the different personalities and, things that we're all good at in different ways. And it's just been a really cool thing to see come together.
So Morgan, I haven't been reading any of these questions because I've not figured out how to see them.
I've been catching most of them. So.
I see it now. I see. So Carol asks, do you presently have a need of volunteers for in-house to be done, like painting, cleaning, outdoor work, etc.?
So yes, but again, because of everything going on right now, we are just trying to, right now I've raised money for renovations so that once we are able to get people together again and have some of those work days, then yes, we are going to be having all kinds of opportunities for painting and cleaning and different kinds of things that we can do, that we can have people come and help us with. Definitely. We've had one work day already where we've had about 60 volunteers that came and helped. And I think a few other times that some other men have come in and helped finish up projects that were needed. So yes, as we get closer to being able to begin renovations, we will definitely have some more time and opportunity for people to come in and help with different cleanup projects or painting and in-house things to be done, and outdoor stuff to be done as well.
So Carol, if you go to our website, you can look at the volunteer tab there and give us your information. So when we're ready, we'll know how to get a hold of you. All right. Morgan, one other thing that I thought of that I get asked a lot as we're raising funds and we have this shoe drive going on, people ask me, well, what types of shoes do you need? What sizes of shoes do you need for the women? And so that part's a little confusing. They're not for the women. This is actually a fundraiser that we're doing. And the shoes that we need to collect can be used, and actually used is good. They just need to not have holes in them. They can be for anyone, any size, any kind. We need to collect 2,500 pairs of shoes, though. So we really need a lot of shoes. I didn't realize how, I mean, that sounds like a lot, but you start putting them in bags. We have a lot of shoes and we're only about halfway there. So we need a lot more shoes.
Mm-hmm. So another question we've had is, will Sojourn House work with other organizations in the community? And what about Department of Child Services? Will we work with them?
So absolutely all of the above. Department of Child Services, we're hoping to be a good resource for them, for their moms hoping to reunify with their children. As we get started, we won't be able to have every service the women need on site. There'll be a lot there, but there won't be everything that they need. So we'll be partnering with all of our area organizations for substance use disorders, for counseling, for education, eventually for jobs, housing, all those sort of things. So we'll be partnering with everybody.
And another question we have, it looks like Amy might have hopped off for a second. I'll get her back in when she comes back on. But another question we have is, will you be collecting clothing or other items specifically for the women? And yes, eventually we hope to have kind of a closet that they can pick from when they first move in. They will have, a selection of items that they can choose, X amount of outfits or things like that they can pick and choose from, because we do want them to be able to have some things that are theirs, because, some of these women may be coming from places where they haven't had much to call their own. And so we do want to provide items that they can, fit their personality and be who they are, and have something that to call their own. Our interpreter has a question. All right. Well, I'm not sure what happened to Amy. Don't know if she's going to be able to jump back on or not. Are there any other questions that anyone has while we are still on? All right. Well, I will just kind of wrap up a little bit here. And if Amy jumps back in with us, that's great. But I do want to just again remind you all of some ways that you can currently get involved. We've mentioned a few times, but we do need shoes. Feel free to give us your shoes. We have a current, we're calling it Fund a Need program, and we are trying to fund toilets and showers and sinks So we do need to help offset some of those costs as we begin our renovations. The average cost for one of those that is going to be about $150. So feel free, if you guys want to make a donation, you can go to sojournhousewomen.org/donate, and you can make any one-time donations there. If you want it to go specifically for a board member during our board battle, be sure to put their name in for Team, Morgan, Team Amy, whoever. But if you want to make a recurring donation, that would be something that you can set up to give to us weekly, monthly, bi-monthly, however often you would like to do it. We can set that up for you as well, and that just helps us to have a consistent income that we know that we can budget off of, be able to pay for costs that come up, our renovations as we begin those. And it just helps us know that we have a solid foundation underneath of us as we move forward. And again, you can message us with any questions that you might have about that. You can email us at team@sojournhousewomen.org or send us a Facebook message. We do have another question that says, where are some places to drop off shoes? And Carla, I can get with you this week and let you know. You can either swing them by here, I can pick them up from your house, something like that is fine. But we'll make sure we get with you to get those shoes. We appreciate you being able to get those to us. And then Amy says she's here, but we can't see her. So I'm not sure what's going on there. But we'll just keep going forward. The Fund a Need, again, you can give to us that way. The board battle is going on for a few more weeks. We do have every Wednesday night, we have a midweek update to let you know where we're at with our standings. And we also will post the Losers Challenge on Wednesday nights as well. So be sure to check those out. They're kind of funny and embarrassing, and just some good competition and good fun. And all the proceeds for that go to renovation costs. We will, as you see more about it in the future, we will be pursuing sponsors for our gala once we have that scheduled. So if you are part of an organization or you have a small business or something, or you just really have a passion to come behind Sojourn House, we will be looking for sponsors for our gala, and we'll be explaining more about what that will look like. But if you think that maybe your company could come behind us and sponsor us for that, we would love to talk with you. Just shoot us a message and we will definitely love to pursue that with you. And yeah, so we're going to be, again, as COVID-19 hopefully comes to an end soon, we will be getting out and doing other different things fundraiser wise, and we'll be able to do a little bit more in the public. But for now, we just wanted to get on here live. And first of all, just thank you for your support already. We've been amazed at the way that the community here has already surrounded us with their support, and even people from other communities that have heard about us have sent us encouraging messages and ways that they feel this is such a big need in our area. And it is not just in Bloomington, but in all of Indiana and really all of our entire country. It's just such a big need to have a place for women to come where they can feel safe, where they can, pursue a life of freedom and of being able to pursue their dreams that they have for themselves. So we appreciate you all. Thank you for following us on our Facebook page. Feel free you can subscribe to our website if you want to follow us there. We do, updates on that and some blog posts occasionally. So just please feel free to check that out as well. And we appreciate you all. And let us know if you have any other questions through email or Facebook message, and we'll be sure to get back with you and answer those as well. All right, thank you again. Thank you, Carissa, for interpreting for us. And we just appreciate it. You guys all have a good night. Thank you.